Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be changing our own oil the old-fashioned way, the best way in my opinion, and today we're going to be changing it on a 2016 Nissan Murano. However, this will be applicable to all 2014 to present Muranos with a 3.5 liter VQ series engine. That is a V6. So let's get right to work. Before we get into this, let's go over the basics of what we need to complete this job. Remember, we're working on a 2014 to present Nissan Murano with a 3.5 VQ series engine that calls for 0 W20 oil and 5 1/8 quarts. I always like to go full synthetic. I'm not very brand loyal, just kind of whatever's cheapest is where I'm going to go. Also need the Fram PH6607 filter or any filter that will fit the Murano. I'm again not brand loyal, but this generally turns out to be one of the cheaper options. Also going to need a funnel to get the oil into the motor and definitely have some towels. As far as tools go, we're going to need a 13/16" socket to get the lug nuts off. We will have to remove the passenger wheel to change the oil. It'd be better if this was a deep socket, but I do have an extension so it'll work just fine. The drain plug requires a 9/16" socket. If you have a wrench, that'll work too. I'm just using a socket, so I have the socket driver. This tool is nice in order to get the lug nuts off. It's just a little bit easier, get more leverage with that. Now let's look at a few things that are a little bit unique to the Nissan. First of all, these push pins are going to be needed to be removed on the bottom side of the car in order to expose the oil pan. And these have a tendency to break. So I'm going to link these in the description, but you can also get these at your hardware store if you do break them. But what you absolutely need are these crush washers. These will fit on the drain plug itself, and these make a nice seal between the plug and the oil pan. Don't reuse the old one. You'll be on borrowed time if you do that, and you might develop a leak. These are pretty inexpensive, and I'll also place a link for these in the description as well. And now we have this guy. Might not look very familiar to anybody who's changed oil before, but I'm going to show you what this guy's used for. And what we're looking at right now are these pinch welds. This is the jacking points of the vehicle. We are on the passenger front tire area. So typically what would happen if you use your jack right here, it's going to put a lot of pressure on these pinch welds. They can get bent, distorted. You just don't want to damage your vehicle from changing the oil or a tire for that instance. So this device is really nice because we have these channel cuts in here, and the pinch weld just simply fits in them, and we have a nice way to jack the vehicle up without damaging the pinch weld. I highly recommend this product. It's not expensive, and I will place a link for it in the description. Now that we've got all of our parts and materials out of the way, let's get to work. All right, we got the wheel off, we got the car jacked up and properly secured with jack stands. So let's get under the vehicle and see what we need to do to drain the oil. And here we are underneath the vehicle. This is the passenger brake, so that's the perspective we're looking from. We need to drop this plastic thing back in order to expose the oil pan. We're going to have to remove two of the push pins. One is right here on this corner. As we follow down, we have another one right here on this angle. I already removed this one, so that's why it's not there. But once we get these two out, we'll be able to basically fold this down, and it will expose our oil pan right here. There's no real great trick to getting these push pins out, but just kind of slide your screwdriver up and just gently pry on both sides. There's kind of a little indent that allows for a tool to get in there, and once you start working it down, you'll have an easier chance or probability of getting it out without breaking it. Looks like we are going to be able to get this one out. It popped out just like that.
And here we are, here's our oil pan, here's our drain plug right here, and we've got our catch can down here. So essentially that plastic weather shielding is kind of sitting underneath the catch can. So it is bent a little bit, but that's okay, it'll bend right back up. So all we need to do is loosen this drain plug, and we'll be on our way. So only takes a little bit, it should only take a little bit of torque to get that loose, and then all we need to do is back it off by hand. That's what I do, that's why I always wear gloves, and just let the oil drain. And we'll let that drain for a few minutes.
Now that we've got the drain plug out, we can remove the crush washer. So basically you'll just want to pry it up. I just use the screwdriver to do that. So just pry it up and then use the threads to just twist it off. Just like that. And you're going to notice though there's a difference on each side of this crush washer. So as you can see, this side it's just pretty much flat, while on this side there's a little key. So what we're going to do is this flat side is the side that should be against the oil pan. So we'll take our plug and we'll just we'll find the keyed side and we'll just thread it on just like this. I don't know if you can hear that, but my neighbor's been working on his car, and the only thing he knows how to do is rev the engine, so far as I can tell. But that's going to be it, and then when we put this drain plug back in, it'll crush it up, and we'll have a nice tight seal. Now we're back on the passenger wheel well here, and we need to remove these clips right here in order to get this protective cover off. So it's just like before, same kind of haphazard way to remove these push pins, and hopefully you don't break any. I haven't yet, so we're going to keep our fingers crossed. And there we go. Now that we've got our cover off, we're exposing our oil filter here, and what we're going to need to do is kind of make a channel for the oil to run. Otherwise it's going to be running all over your lines right there and also the frame. So I like to keep things clean, so we're going to make just a little cardboard channel for the oil to drain down into, and of course we have our catch pan right underneath this cardboard. So I'm going to trim this piece up a little bit and make a little valley for it. Now you should be able to twist off your oil filter by hand by simply going to the left just like I did. It should only be that tight. And let's get our cardboard under there before things start happening. But if it's not coming off, you can find a tool like this at your auto parts store, and it'll basically give you more leverage to grab the the oil filter and twist it off. So let's just keep moving. You can see the oil's draining nicely, and I just kind of let it sit there so it all doesn't kind of rush out like a dam breaking. Just kind of let it drain off. Just keep going a little bit. And what I'm going to try to do is actually keep a hold of it when it comes completely loose. That way, again, it's not like, we're going to drop it and oil's going to get everywhere. We want to make sure that we don't splash oil all over the floor or something like that. So keep twisting. They have a lot of threads on them, so you'll be twisting for a little while. All right, and there we go. And again, I'm trying to aim it up. Keep our cardboard for the residual oil, and that's it. Okay, now we got our new oil filter here. What I like to do is pre-fill these, but since this is going on horizontally, there's no point. All the oil would drop out, so we're just gonna have to install it dry, but always remember to put a coat of oil around the seal, and that will help it not stick to your surface right here. The next time you take your oil filter off, it'll just enable it to be twisted off easier. So that's always a good thing to do. So
Just put that on. I'm twisting to the right. It should just spin on like that. And remember, you don't need to make this really tight. Just hand tight, like literally hand tight. You saw how easy it came off. It should be that way every time. That's it. That's all you need to do. Don't go crazy tightening this thing on, or you're going to have a heck of a time getting it off. So that is it. We'll take our cardboard off here and just kind of go with a towel underneath the filter and get all the remaining oil. Wasn't a whole lot, but as you can see, we did not spill any. We did a very good job of getting that off cleanly. Now we're on the home stretch, so let's remove our oil cap. You just turn that to the left, place it aside. We'll put our funnel right there. And now all we have to do is dump in the oil. Make sure you're aiming well and you don't dump oil all over your engine. Remember, we needed 5 1/8 quarts, so I measured out 1/8 of a quart on another bottle, and we'll just dump that in. And 1/8 isn't a lot, so you know, there is sort of a fudge factor here at play, but I always like to make things as accurate as I can, so that's the reason for that. But really, you know, use your best judgment on the 1/8 if you don't have a way to measure it. Just kind of parse it out, you know, what's 1/8 of a quart. Just go by visual on that, and you'll be totally fine. Okay, and we'll remove the funnel. Make sure we get any drips coming off there. Clean up any drips that we got on the engine. And always, always, always make sure you replace this oil cap. If you don't, literally your car will start on fire and it will burn to the ground. So make sure you put your cap back on, or you could have potentially a fire on your hands. So it is very important to do that. Sometimes I like to take the cap and actually place it somewhere in the engine bay that would prohibit the hood from closing. That way I know for sure I'm always going to get it on there. But if you put it in plain sight, you should be able to remember. But just remember, get that oil cap back on. Okay, we've lowered the car and only hand tightened the lug nuts. Now we just need to come in with our torque wrench and tighten to 88 foot-pounds. If you don't have a torque wrench, tighten them fairly tight. 88 foot-pounds isn't overly tight. You can kind of see and judge off the way I'm doing it here. We're just snugging these up pretty tight. You don't want a loose wheel. Just like that. Good. That's it. Other than going in your settings and resetting your oil alert notice in your car, the job is done. So all you need to do now is turn the engine on, make sure there's no lights, make sure there's nothing leaking underneath. Once you've verified those two things, you're good to go. So hey, if this video helped you, please help me and hit that subscribe button. It goes a long way in making the channel successful. It's a very hot day today, so I'm going inside. Catch you later.